Welcome back to another episode of Pride, a living room series. Hey, it is Friday, and I know Friday doesn't mean anything anymore, but it has an F for fun. One of the guests that lives on the other side of the world, so please give it up for Nicole De Laura.
Nikki!
Nikki, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Today, I am sitting here with you drinking. I'm drinking rosé, and over there.
Tinto de verano.
All right.
Yeah.
Cheers. So, Nikki, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where can we find you on a beautiful Friday afternoon?
I'm from Syracuse, New York, but I live in Madrid teaching English at an elementary school. And on Friday afternoons, after I'm done teaching, you can find me at a little terraza, which is like an outdoor bar, reading a book and having a beer until someone joins me.
Diving into the topic of pride. Happy Pride, by the way.
Happy Pride.
Having lived in both the States and in Spain, are there any differences that you either feel, notice, or experience in the queer community between the two countries?
Interesting question. Well, I'm from Syracuse, New York, which is a small city in upstate New York. When I was coming out as queer, I knew there was one gay bar I could go to, and that's it. Versus when I would go to New York City after coming out, it's a big hub for queer people. And I think that's kind of the same in Spain. For example, Madrid and Barcelona are huge gay hubs, just like New York City is. But once you go to the countryside of Spain, you're not going to see two men holding hands walking down the street. But I think that's because they all moved to the queer hubs, just like we do in the US. If I still lived in New York, I probably wouldn't live in Syracuse. I would move to New York City where I'm more accepted. And I think it's the same here. But I do love Madrid. It's very gay. Everyone that's gay kind of moves to Madrid because it's the most accepting place. There's a neighborhood for the gays in Madrid. It's called Chueca. So, I mean, it's different, but it's kind of the same. I think the United States is actually better in terms of people who identify as non-binary or if someone transitions. I teach English, and I teach my students that in English, someone doesn't have to be a she, they don't have to be a he. We can call them they. And it's really confusing for them because in Spanish, you can't do that.
With all of that said, and just your experience in general, how do you feel being a part of the queer community?
Honestly, I feel very lucky and proud. I'm so glad that I'm queer. I feel bad for people that can't be because it's amazing. And we have such a community where we share things and we back each other up. And I think it's amazing. The queer community has taught me how to be more inclusive and to be a better person, be more non-judgmental and open and accepting. And I feel like if I wasn't queer and I wasn't a part of this community that teaches me, then I wouldn't be able to teach this to my students like I'm doing now, and I'm not pushing anything on them, but I'm like, oh, hey, so if you don't identify as a man or a woman or a girl or a boy, it's no problem. And we can call you something different. And here are those pronouns, It's just opened my eyes, made me a better teacher, made me a better person. And I love it. And I'm super proud. In the queer community, we all support each other. Like, I've got your back. Yeah, I guess it's like having a sports team, but better. I don't like sports, so I don't know what that's like. But I would assume it's like the same.
Now, we're going to jump to our fun game called The Guest That Was Here Before You, Angelo Herrera, asked you a question, and then right after you answer, you're going to get the chance to ask a question to my next guest. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Angelo Herrera asks,
what is the biggest obstacle you face of being part of the community in your city, hometown?
What a loaded question, Angelo. I think for me, it's not really a challenge being in a city and like holding hands with a person. that I'm in love with, you know. I don't really care what these people think, you know, if they don't like that. I think the challenge was the people that I do know, my family, coming out to them, and even just having to come out really sucked. When I realized I liked women, I was in high school, and I didn't tell my family until I was in college because I was so nervous, and it was so sad, and I was hoping that, you know, maybe I was bisexual so that, you know, they would think that I could still end up with a man someday. No offense to bisexuals anywhere. I am just kind of, I think that speaks more to how close-minded maybe my family was at the time, thinking that that would be an option. But the most difficult part is when I came out to one of my caregivers, and she knew because we had been growing apart for a while because I couldn't share my life with her, and we were fighting about money or something. And then I said, you know, I have to tell you something. I was already worked up and sad. And I told her that I liked women. And she told me, like, word for word that, you know, I will love you. Because I was like, dude, are you not going to love me anymore? And she was like, I will always love you. But, like, for me, it's just disgusting. And she said that word. And she has made so much progress, you know, with the whole queer thing. And it's been like 5 or 6 years now, but that word will forever be in my mind. But when I came out to both of my grandmas, they were like, okay.
You know, I had the same experience. I was terrified of telling my grandma. Terrified.
Yeah.
And finally, I told her, and she was like, okay.
Yeah. And I'm like,
what the, like, give me more, like, hey. Not really. I was just, I cried because I was like, wow, you know, honestly, be who you are, because even the people that you think are going to judge you the most can sometimes surprise you.
With my other grandma, I tested the waters by being like, so how do you feel about Republicans and Democrats, and like what side do you support? I went in at more of a political angle. And so I was like, and what do you think about like gay people, you know? And she was like, it's none of my business. So I don't care. I was like, and what if you had a gay granddaughter? She was like, who? I was like, me. And she was like, really? I was like, yeah. She was like, well, okay. Again, none of my business.
Well, that's a great way to end this new and great show. Give it up for Nikki De Laura. Thank you for being here. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
And that was Pride, a living room series. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week, and remember, stay queer, stay weird. Have a good one.